Okay, more on video management using tablets and devices other than a regular PC, which is growing a little frustrating. The video that I'm doing right now is being shot with an iPad mini, and a video that I'm uploading from earlier today that I think you're going to see segments of it done in with this stuff was done on an iPad Touch. Now, what I'm running into right now, this is one way you can keep multiple windows open with multiple devices when I don't have somebody clanging dishes in the background. Anyway, so what's happening here is I'm trying to integrate multiple devices here with video management. Okay, so I do videos with the iPads and touches and all this kind of stuff. Have not produced any videos with the Microsoft Surface yet, but what I am going to do is show a little bit of the editing process on this using the YouTube interface. Here's the other thing I've decided to do, because it gets really frustrating, and what one of the guys over at Best Buy explained to me is that the equivalent of a right click on the mouse is that you have to hit something with both fingers. Well, depending on how you hold your fingers, that's a pretty broad area on that tiny little stuff on that screen. So that gets a little tricky, because I mean, you know, that's the size of my fingers, and I guess you can do two styluses or something. I keep thinking that, no, I'm better off just plugging in a mouse. And so what I have running here is a USB hub. I have the Commando keyboard, which has its own learning curve, believe me. It really has its own learning curve. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go down here, and here we can see where I've been at. Like this is how the Internet Explorer browser works. YouTube is really, I mean, there's two things that's made to work with, is Firefox and the Chrome browser. Now, because my edit page, I haven't been to it all that frequently, it doesn't come up in one of these early ones, and but I'm going to try it. See, ED View Editor, YouTube, right here. Okay, you see that? So we're going to click on that. That gets me to this. And so one thing about the Microsoft Surface is that you don't have a you don't disable the touchscreen when you plug a mouse in. The mouse means that this arrow shows up, okay? But I can manipulate things with my finger here, and that's where all the smudges on the screen come from. Okay, I like to eat when I'm at the computer stuff, and that's what I do. That's why when I'm not out working, I'm sitting at the computer. I sit at the computer, eat, drink, and then rush out and do some exercising, so I don't get horribly obese. So let's say I had this review here broken up into several parts, and it says drag video to here, right? Okay, now let's try. Well, see that shit? Okay. Now, you know, I don't know how fucking deft I'm supposed to be with my finger, but I don't see that. But if I go here, I click down, I put it here, boom, I'm in business. Okay, but I'm doing that with the mouse. Now, I would go over here, and I got my hand sitting here, right? And I'm just manipulating the mouse. So, you know, and then you got to close this thing. So I'm not going to auto fix or screw around with any of that stuff. I named these water pot 1 through whatever, okay? So then I'm going to click that, drag that down, go up to here, click that. Woo! Doesn't let me do more than one at a time. I got to close. Little mini editing thing. And then here's the other thing that thing does to me. And this is the Google software. This is not the other stuff. But what happens here is, to know which video it is, The only way you can really keep track of that is look at the time limit on that, because you'll notice not always the name of the things sitting in there. And so I grab 3, I drag that down. Notice it's a little bit slow reaction, okay? I think it's because this thing is downloading an update, which Microsoft products always seem to do in the background when you're trying to do something important. I think it's busy downloading an update. But remember, this is the Surface RT. This isn't, let's say, the Pro 2 or one of the highly advanced ones. I'm going to give this thing a name. That's a water pot. You'll see that video come up here momentarily. It'll be uploaded either, and made public at about the same time this one's made public. So if you want to see how this works, it's a Road Pro item, a 12-volt item that I do. So it was a 4-part video. I think it's going to come in at about 10 things. So we see this, and there it is. I was able to do all of the editing on the Microsoft Surface, but as far as doing the touchscreen stuff, not really. You can't get into that little detail. It's kind of hard to do, and so I'm going to end up one way or another carrying a mouse around. Now you can use Bluetooth, like mini micro mouse. There's tiny mouse things you can use with these, or you can just get a regular, mouse. And these are cheap. I mean they're inexpensive. These keyboards not very expensive, and you could plug in a hard keyboard. And of course, having to use a USB hub, which doesn't seem to be a problem. Doesn't seem to be a problem on this unit. But this is one of the types of USB hubs that can either work powered or unpowered. And using it in the unpowered mode means I really don't want to use that with, let's say, a drive, a hard drive or something like that. Maybe a thumb drive, maybe. But I'm really going to stick to using the little TF cards that stick in the back of this thing. So that's the second thing. And what I was doing is I was doing the uploads because the Apple products allow me to do this. I'm doing the uploads directly off the camera, and because Google and YouTube are basically cloud space, as soon as that's uploaded, I have to clear memory space on a device. This is the smallest of the iPod touches. So, once I do that, I delete the video, and then I'll work on uploading another one. Let's see, we'll upload that. They're all logged into the same account. Give this one a name. Okay, I'm just going to call that iPod 1. I'm going to make sure that it's private. Shit. Don't worry about that. I'm going to make sure that it's private and it's not comedy. I think we've got some stuff on science and technology. So that's basically how the uploading works on that stuff. We'll publish that. And that's kind of how that works. So as we go through all this kind of stuff, you'll see how this system works as far as working videos this way. If other people know better ways to do this, great, show me. I'm definitely into hearing it. But one thing I'm finding is that using the Microsoft tablet is by having everything plugged into it seems to work a heck of a lot better than for me. So, I mean, these are tiny little things. So let's say I go here. I want to look at Video Manager. Okay, I guess I'm getting better at knowing where the little tippy tip of my finger is. And here we can see the upload that we were doing at the beginning of this video. So this one was online with the account. This one was online with the account. I was able to pull that stuff off. It is battery intensive to the iPod, so we've got that up. Delete video, and I'll be uploading next. You guys don't need to watch that.